Thanks for arriving, everybody. Yin with Roham. Do as much or as little as you want during the class. Modify or rest or skip anything you want. You're going to get benefits no matter what. If some of these holds seem like a long time, you go ahead and release early. You'll still receive full benefits. The practice of yoga and on its own will eventually reap 110% of the benefits through flexibility, strength, and breathing techniques. Let's start in standing position, mountain pose. Toes touch. Root down in through your feet and inhale up. Shoulders back and down. Just take a moment here and breathe. Focus on the sound of your breath. Focus on full lung inhales. Focus on letting go of your day and everything up until this moment. The more you focus on the sound of your breath, the less your mind will wander, the more present you'll stay. First posture, forward fold. So feet a bit wider than the hips. Grab hold of your elbows, bending slightly at the knees. We'll spend a bit of time here. So relax the neck. Just start to breathe into the hamstrings. If you tighten the hamstrings or you have a low back injury, you can protect your low back by placing your elbows on your knees. Straightening the legs to begin to lengthen the hamstrings while keeping the belly close to the thighs, protecting the back. Feel the weight transition from the front of the feet towards the back of the feet. Utilize your exhales to deepen the relaxation in the back, the shoulders, the neck. Next posture is child's pose. Nice and simple. Maybe the knees a little wider than you're used to. Hips towards the heels. Take some time here. Big inhales. Exhaling your hips towards your heels. I usually take this opportunity rolling the forehead a couple times on the mat. Wiping anything away I need. Walk your hands towards the top of the mat. Full side rib inhales. Active hands, spreading those fingers apart. Let's walk the hands towards the top left corner of the room or mat. Inhale, balloon the ribs on the left side. Exhale your left hip towards your heel. Balloon the ribs. Exhale, hip towards heel. Gaze could be slightly underneath that left armpit. Start to walk the hands towards the center of the mat. Then beyond the center of the mat, towards the top right side on this, or left side, opposite of where you were. Inhale, balloon the ribs. Exhale your right hip towards your right heel. Lengthen the right side on the inhale. Relax on the exhale. Concentrate reaching and breathing. Back to the center. Slowly release. Next posture will be frog on wall. So positioning your mat near a wall. Laying on your back and sliding the feet onto the wall. Got to make sure I've got sound. You want to move your hips away from the wall so that your knees are above your hips. This is a vertical thigh or femur. You want to make sure that the shins stay parallel to the mat. As you start to open the legs, pointing the toes outwards, and keeping the heels in line with the knees. Take some time here. So to go over the alignments one more time, you want to make sure your knees are in line with your hips. That means you might have to move back or forward, getting those thighs to be vertical if your knees are above your hips at that moment. Take some time to just breathe and relax. And as you settle into the posture, you might have to readjust, widening the stance. Also keep in mind that whichever direction your femur is facing, you also want your toes to be in that direction. That'll ensure less pressure on your knee. So you don't want your toes to be facing in a different direction and your femur, right? Nice neutral knee there. If you have long shin bones, you might be a bit further from the wall. If you have short shin bones, you might be a bit closer to the wall. The distance away from the wall is based on your shin bones. You can have your hands above you, or on your belly, or on your belly and heart. You might have your hands supporting the thighs. You might have pillows underneath the thighs. You might have blocks under the thighs. Supporting yourself in any number of ways to protect the body, safe practice. Full lung breathing the entire practice. So at no point during the class should you be breathing normally. The deeper the breath, the less the distractions. And as the time progresses, check in on your posture. Maybe you can get a little deeper. You've been here for a little time. Maybe you have to move out early. Maybe you're cramping. That's okay. If you do these postures often with us, you'll cramp less and you'll be able to hold them longer. If you're new to the practice, maybe it's a New Year's resolution, maybe you just found the channel. Leaving early doesn't mean you're getting less of the benefits. You get the full benefit, even if you do a short portion of the posture modified. The benefit comes at taking your body to whatever limit it happens to be at that day. And you can watch the progress. Okay, you can use your hands if you want. Kind of heel toe those legs back. Thread the needle on the wall so you can place your right ankle on your knee. You can increase the pressure by moving closer to the wall, but keeping your sacrum flat to the wall. So you might move so close that you feel you're lifting the back up. If that's the case, you've gone too close. Keeping that back flat, sacrum down. Get to a point where we can talk about the alignment, feel the stretch in the hips, and get the benefits of the posture. So for alignment, you do want your left knee in line with your ankle, with your foot, with your hip. Quite often you'll be wanting to lift the sacrum, maybe even curl that low back a little bit to get that shin closer to the chest, just so you can feel like you're getting more benefits, you're getting closer to your goals, whatever they might be. But that's not the goal. The goal is to be honest in your practice, ensure integrity in your form, and be humble in the sensation. Better to hold a nice, long, perfect form, thread the needle, than having to release early or losing the concept of form where you lose the majority of the benefit of the posture. Quite common to have your ankle doing all kinds of weird things at this time. Check in on your ankle. What does a neutral ankle look like? Toes should be active. When the toes pull towards the knees, we call that an active foot or active toes. That'll help engage the muscles around the knee, help protect the knee. Again, if you have to leave early from the posture, or you have to back up from the wall a little bit to release some of the pressure, go ahead and do that. Try to keep your shin parallel to the mat, and keep that ankle and knee moving towards the chest at an equal pace. When you're ready, we can slowly release that pressure and do the other leg. Heel in line with the knee and hip. Inhale that left knee towards the chest. Exhale the ankle onto the knee. Check in on a neutral ankle and begin to invite the ankle, or ensure that the ankle and the knee move towards the chest at a nice equal pace. Keeping that tailbone down, shin parallel to the floor. Deep breathing. Shoulders are relaxed. If you can't get your head onto the floor, you can use any amount of props underneath the head to support yourself in your practice. Another way that you can do this posture without the wall near you is to get a block underneath the foot, or a chair, stool. Full lung breaths, every breath counts. When you're ready, slowly release that position. Take a moment. Give your knees a hug. Okay, you might keep your torso right where it is. Okay, so we might readjust this position. And we're going to lay the knees down to the right, but we're going to keep our shoulders flat as best we can. We can set supports underneath the knees if we need, and we're going to do this together. So I'm going to move closer to the wall. Some of you might stay where you are, or move further back if you need. Again, we are not trying to lift up. If you feel yourself lifting, move away from the wall. Cactus arms or goalpost arms. Big breath. Set your right foot down and then your left. Just take some time here. You could look to the right. Again, you can use any amount of props you need to make this a bit more sustainable. Pillow between the legs, pillow underneath the left or the right knee. This is a low back release, lengthening the side low back muscles.
Great tool when you might have a low back injury or tweak in the low back is learning different ways that we can open up different parts of the body. Having the space in our hips and hamstrings to move into different places. Relax on the exhale. So really focus on that. So one leg at a time, coming up. Left leg and right leg. Take a moment. You're different side to side. If you feel yourself pinching or tweaking, back yourself off a little bit. Or use props to get those knees higher. You can always use your breath to move yourself deeper at any point in time. So I'm going to readjust myself a little bit on this side. Whatever position you choose should be sustainable. And breathable. Focusing on full breaths. Make sure you maintain cactus arms when you release the posture. Inhale, left leg up, right leg up. Take a moment, straightening the legs. We're going to be staying on the wall, so keep your legs up the wall. Next posture, bridge on wall. Feet hip width apart. Feet hip width apart. And use the pressure of the feet on the wall to begin to lift up. You want to get those shins parallel, so walk the feet up until the shins are parallel, and then lift the knees even higher. Take some time here, just breathing. Draw tailbone towards calves or knees. Active feet. Relax the shoulders. Use the four corners of both feet, pressure on the wall to lift the knees higher. Jai breathing. Sound at the throat. Knees higher. Slowly. Upper, middle, and lower back. One section at a time. Keep that tailbone curling towards the calves or knees. Take a moment. It's going to be the apex of the class. It's as hard as you're going to work. Breathe. Let that blood rush where it needs to rush. Depending on the length of your hamstrings will again dictate how close or far your hips are from the wall. If you're new to the practice of yoga or you're spending a lot of time sitting, you will be further from the wall. We'll be doing a simple wide leg. On the wall, straddle. There's the slightest external rotation of the legs from the femur towards the toes. As the time progresses, your legs might widen, right? If you need support, you're always welcome to use any number of objects underneath the thighs. If your hips are not on the wall at this time, then you will probably be feeling lengthening of the hamstrings and an opening of the inner thighs. When you're ready, use your hands for support. Take your time. Breathing as you release, never holding the breath. That was a great amount of work on the lower body. Let's do a couple shoulder opening postures, chest opening postures before we take on final relaxation. We'll slowly move our legs to the side. Come to a standing position on your mat near the wall. Okay. First posture is chest opener on wall. I want you to do
Warrior One position. Right foot forward. Want you to be 6 to 8 inches away from the wall. Take your right hand and place it shoulder height behind you. The fingers can be facing back or up, fingers spread. Arm could be straight or a bend if you need. Place your left hand on your collarbone. Bend that right knee. Relax your neck. Want you to imagine that right shoulder blade moving down your back. Get it out of your neck. Nothing's touching the wall except your right palm. Move the center of your sternum towards the center of the room. Breathe into the front of the right shoulder and chest, pec minor, pec major. Draw the tailbone towards the left heel. Keep that right knee stacked, wide knee stance if you need. Nice strong Warrior One stance. Inhale across that upper right chest. Exhale to draw shoulder blade down. Slowly release. Take a moment on the wall. You can switch sides. Warrior One stance. Left foot forward, right foot 45. Left foot 6 inches from the wall. Left hand, shoulder height. Fingers spread, arms straight, arm bent. It's your choice. Right hand on shoulder or collarbone or ribs. Inhale across the upper chest. Exhale, bend left knee. Keep that left shoulder blade drawing down your back. Relax your neck. Feel the opening of the top left of your shoulder, chest. Strong Warrior One stance. Deep breathing. Slowly release. Take a moment. Shower on wall. Hands shoulder width apart, shoulder height. Active hands, 10 fingers face the ceiling. Do not move your hands. Take 1, 2, 3 small steps back. So you might adjust a little bit. You do 3 steps back. You do not want your hips, you want your hips to move past the heels. Keep your hands where they are, active toes, relaxed neck. Feel your hips move away from the wall. Feel the lengthening of your pec minor, front of the chest. Relax your neck. Over time, the elbows will face the ceiling instead of one another. Couple more breaths. To release, you're going to walk your way to the wall nice and slowly. Keep your hands where they are. Don't hold the breath. Put your cheek to the wall and take a moment. To transition us back onto our mat for final relaxation, and we're going to do one inversion. You have a number of options depending on where you are in your practice. One option is dolphin on wall. You can do down dog on wall. You could do forearm balance, variation of scorpion. Or you could do a handstand with the wall for support. We'll meet in Shavasana. Enjoy your inversion, getting some fresh blood to your brain, working strength you didn't know you had. Even a short downward dog will benefit you, so do your best for a small slice of upside down life. When you're ready, small child's pose. Final Shavasana. I'll bring us back in 1 minute.
Move your fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Inhale, take a bit of a morning stretch. Roll to your side, knees a bit closer to the chest. Comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Benefits no matter how long or how much of the class you did. Honor your practice. Namaste.